Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth true crime stories and investigations. Your support helps us bring these important stories to light.
We haven't officially been introduced yet, so I'll go ahead and let you know now. I'm Brian Jones. This is Jimmy Edmonds. We're both investigators with the Sheriff's Office, okay? I know you already talked to Sergeant Clack and gave him a little bit of information, which is on this sheet of paper right here. So I'll kind of skip over a lot of this to just say, I'll just verify you 1218 Miles Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Date of birth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know your social? If you don't, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'm going to notate the day's date down here. And the time is about 7:25. Seems like a little bit later. First thing I want to let you know, we're here to talk to you about what happened out there, Miles Road. I want to let you know right quick, you're not under arrest, you're not in charge of anything. All we want to do is just try to figure out exactly what happened to you. So you were out there and you know the story. Your sister, Miss Chitty, is here. And Diana Chitty, yeah, she's here, and we talked to her, and she knows you're here. And I just want you to know that she is up here, and we have talked to her and let her know that we're going to be talking to you, which she pretty well knew that was coming, okay? First things first, tell me what you know happened. Start from the very beginning.
Lacey Aaron Schmidt was just 14 years old when he committed a crime that would shock his small hometown of Harlem, Georgia, and leave a family devastated. On January 31, 2011, Schmidt took the life of his close friend and neighbor, 14-year-old Alana Callahan, in a senseless act of violence that continues to haunt those who knew them. This is the tragic story of trust betrayed, a life cut short, and justice pursued. Alana Callahan was a bright and outgoing teenager. Known for her kind nature and love for her family, she was the youngest of her siblings and the cherished daughter of her parents. The Callahan family lived in a close-knit rural community, where Alana spent her days surrounded by friends and family. Among those in her circle was Lacey Aaron Schmidt, a boy she had once briefly dated but had remained close friends with after their romantic relationship ended. Schmidt was frequently at the Callahan home, spending hours with Alana and her siblings. On the surface, Aaron Schmidt seemed like any other teenager. He came from a troubled background, but he had become a regular fixture at the Callahan household. The Callahans treated him with kindness, welcoming him into their home as a trusted friend of their daughter. But unbeknownst to them, Schmidt harbored dark intentions. In the days leading up to the tragedy, Schmidt had begun to cross boundaries. He entered the Callahan home while no one was present, taking a handgun from a safe in the master bedroom. He disassembled and reassembled the firearm at his own house, a chilling act that suggested a level of premeditation. On January 31, 2011, Aaron Schmidt arrived at the Callahan home once again. It was an ordinary day, with no indication of the horror that was about to unfold. Alana was seated at the computer, her back turned, focused on her tasks. Schmidt stood behind her, holding the stolen handgun. Without warning, he raised the weapon and pulled the trigger, shooting Alana in the back of the head. The young girl collapsed immediately, her life stolen in an instant. What happened next revealed Schmidt's disturbing state of mind. Rather than seeking help or showing remorse, he attempted to cover his tracks. He dragged Alana's lifeless body toward the woods near her home, trying to stage the scene and confuse investigators. When questioned by police, Schmidt initially claimed he had seen someone fleeing the scene. But inconsistencies in his story quickly unraveled his lies.
Well,
tell me what you know.
When I went up to the road because I know Amanda comes down to pick her up when it's raining. It was a little bit rainy earlier. When I went up to the road and tell Amanda that I won't be able to come for 2 weeks because I got a restriction. 2 weeks. And I told her everything, and I was going back down to the house. And there's like a little gate right there, but there's cable hanging there. But I saw somebody run across it and was hardtailing it. So my uncle don't like no one on land, and I have to get him off because, in the past there's people trying to start fires and stuff like that. Try to plant something that don't need to be there. Well, I went to go see where he went. I was looking around. I went to go to go see if Amanda knew where he went, if she seen him or anything. But when I went to go she had to go follow her. She was already halfway down the road with the truck to go pick up little Chase from the bus. Because, and when I went there, I said I can't catch up with her in that truck. And I just stopped and I went to go turn around to go back to the house. When I turned around, I saw somebody kind of taller, because you know how far distant it looks like somebody's taller up in something higher, like on that back porch. Well, he was dressed in grayish, blackish pants, black boots, and a black jacket on.
Schmidt starts off by making up an unknown trespasser to blame for the murder.
And a black beanie on. And he saw me and looked at me and ran. And he was white. He was a white man. And he ran away down to the creek bank, and I kind of thought that was kind of dumb, because there ain't nothing down that way except just dead end. Except a little bit of four-wheel trails. So I went to go see if anything was gone or missing, because you know how somebody try to break in and go run away. I seen the chair knocked over, and I saw a bunch of reddish looking stuff. I thought it was Kool-Aid myself, because Amanda kept on saying it was Kool-Aid, and I said it didn't look like Kool-Aid. I went and looked out the back door, and I saw some, like drag marks. Well, I seen that, and I saw a bunch of more red stuff, and I figured out that when Amanda came up, that Alana was missing. And so I went out and started helping Amanda look for her, and I found Alana out on the side of that road. Weren't you there? Was you there?
At the scene?
Yeah.
I mean, afterwards, yeah, I came up.
Where she was laying, all out, and I got Amanda. I got sick on my stomach. I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed the phone from her, and I was talking to some person talking about CPR, pressed on the middle of her chest 3 times and blow, and nothing was happening. And I kept on telling them there's nothing happening, except there's just a bunch of blood running out of her mouth.
Callahan's body was not visible, but Schmidt managed to find it right away. This was one of the red flags that let detectives know that he was involved.
And that's about it.
Okay. When you came up initially, when you first came up,
Yes, sir.
how did you come up to the house? To Alana and them's house, Alana and
I
Amanda's
just
house?
walked right up in their backyard, because I go to their house frequently, because we negotiate like with family, because I go over there every day on a daily basis if I'm in trouble. Well, I just walked up and I didn't notice anything wrong, because usually the front door is always open, but the back door, it was wide open. That's what I kind of thought was strange.
Okay.
And I went out and tried to follow and run after Amanda and try to wave at her stop, but I couldn't get her attention. So I went back and went up to the house to see if Alana was still there.
Oh, hold on just a second. You said you came up from the trail, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're talking about that trail that you said leads. I mean, where does the trail lead? I mean, where are you coming from?
You know where the white pickup truck is sitting at?
Yeah.
Well, right there, that trail that leads all the way back there into a little gate that
Okay.
leads in right in front of my house. That's why I seen that person running through there.
Okay. Okay. So you were coming from your house.
Now from the top of the road to talk to Amanda, picking up Alana from the middle school bus.
Yeah, I thought you just said you came from your house up the trail and you were coming up that way, and that's when you saw the back door and all open.
No, I was coming up. When I talked to Amanda at the top of the road when she was going to pick up Alana, because it was all rainy, well, I talked to her about why I can't go over there for 2 weeks, and that's why I ain't going to be over there. I was heading back down to the house, and Alana and Amanda was already headed down that way. It took me a little while to get back down to my house.
When you said the top of the road, where are you talking about at the top of the road that you saw?
Alana's driveway, Amanda's driveway.
Okay.
Because my house, a couple more houses down, a little bit further down.
Okay.
Because we made that little path back there once a couple years ago, because there's different people who live in that house. So they just recently moved there. And my aunt was living there, and she had kids, and the people behind her had kids, and they cut a trail. They made a four-wheeler trail and go-kart trail.
Okay.
Because all it did made a little U.
Okay. So, you talked to them. How did you get from your house?
I walked down that main road, and I saw somebody run across, I don't know if you know all the way down, because I don't know if you went down the trail. Because, well, when I walked down there, I saw somebody just run and jumped over the cable and kept on running.
Okay.
And I went to go see who it was, because I told you that my uncle don't like no one out there.
Okay.
So I decided to go follow him and try to see who it was. And I didn't find anybody.
Were you running after him?
I was trying to run, but I can't. I anchor. Because I kind of cracked it on top of my, right there. I did something bad to it. I don't know what I did.
Okay.
And I tried to run. I couldn't. So I kind of sped walked. You know how to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, speed walk. And I tried to run down the road to try to catch up with Amanda and try to wave at her.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get her attention, so I just stopped and I turned around. But when I turned around to go back to the house, if Alana was there, and ask her if she's seen anybody. But that's when I saw that black dude, well, blackish figure in the back door, but it was actually a white dude.
Okay, is that the same person that you saw jumping the fence?
Yes,
Or
sir.
the
All
white?
black. But with, like gray slackish pants.
Okay, so when did you first see this guy dressed in dark clothes?
When he went and jumped over the cable.
Which is where?
Down the road a little bit further. If you on the main Miles Road, kept on going, it leads you down to a stop sign that says take a right to Coon Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right there's a cable right there,
Mm-hmm.
because we had to put it up because we was trying to keep people off it because they kept around their four wheels and stuff down through there.
Okay.
And that's where I seen him when I was coming around that corner, and I was looking directly down there, and somebody just ran and jumped over the cable and kept on running
Okay. Which way were they running?
down the trail.
From Miles.
From Miles Road?
No, down to the back, to on the trail, going upwards, down in somewhere in there, to Callahan's backyard.
Where were you at?
Yeah.
on the main road.
So you were on Miles Road.
Yes, sir. Walking down back to the house, and I saw somebody jump over the cord, and I just decided to follow them, try to see what they're doing. But I didn't see anybody else, and I went down there to see if Amanda or anybody else seen him. So I
thought you turned around to get Amanda.
Yeah, I went to go to Callahan's house, but when I went to go to him, yeah, the truck was halfway down the thing to go get Chase.
The driveway?
Yeah.
So you saw her leaving?
And I kept trying to run after her and try to wait and try to say, hey, stop real fast, but I couldn't get her attention.
And that's after you came up through the backyard and saw the back door open. And
Yeah, because I thought Alana was home.
But you said also that you didn't see where the black guy or the guy in the dark clothing went.
Yeah,
But you ran up and you could get all the way up into the backyard of the Callahans, enough to where you could see Amanda going down the road. But you didn't notice him then? You made contact with him
no, when I
on
turned
the road?
around, when I know the Callahan's main road is,
Mm-hmm.
I was on that road and I turned around and I saw him, and he turned off and ran.
you saw him on the back porch, is what you said?
Yeah, on that back porch.
How could you see him on the back porch from the main road?
Because I was halfway down the driveway. You can see halfway onto all the way to that house because we haven't cleared it out.
On which side of the house?
On the back side of the house, in the corner.
I thought the main road.
Yeah,
in the
you
front
see
of the
the front of
house.
the house, but when you keep on going down a little bit further, you can see part of the back of the sides, and the back
How
door.
far away from the house would you say that was?
Probably good far ways, because all I seen was the black person, blackish. But
saw-
I saw a white face.
You saw a black person or a white person?
I want to say black, but it's not because he's all dressed in black. But you can see his face is white.
And this is the same person who
Jumped over the cable.
jumped over the fence or the cable up towards your house, going down there that you followed.
Yes,
How
sir.
far in there did you follow him?
I lost his trails, and I started looking all the way around down there. You know, I don't want to try to say that you know where I live and everything, but it's not. You don't. Well, if you keep on going down there, I was looking around in that field area, see if he was hiding around in there, but I didn't see him.
So instead of just coming on up to the trail to the Callahan's house, what did you do?
I was looking around to see if he went down to, there's a creek down, if he kept on going down that way. Well, if you know that back, that.
As investigators pieced together the timeline of events, the evidence against Schmidt became overwhelming. The stolen handgun was traced back to the Callahan home. Its box, ammunition, and owner's manual were found in Schmidt's possession, linking him directly to the crime. Forensic experts determined that the weapon required a deliberate 13-pound trigger pull, making an accidental discharge highly unlikely. Schmidt's claim that the shooting was unintentional did not hold up under scrutiny. The investigation also revealed troubling details about Schmidt's behavior. Witnesses described him as manipulative and controlling, particularly toward Alana. Friends later recounted instances where he exhibited jealousy and anger, suggesting that his motives may have been rooted in a twisted sense of possession or rejection. Despite his young age, Schmidt's actions displayed a level of calculation and coldness that left investigators and the community stunned. In February 2012, Lacey Aaron Schmidt stood trial for the murder of Alana Callahan. The courtroom was filled with emotion as prosecutors presented the case against him. They argued that Schmidt's actions were premeditated, pointing to his theft of the handgun and the deliberate nature of the shooting. The prosecution painted a picture of a young man who had betrayed the trust of a family that had welcomed him into their home. The defense attempted to argue that Schmidt's age and background should be taken into account. They portrayed him as a troubled teenager who had made a terrible mistake, emphasizing the hardships he had faced in his upbringing. But the evidence against Schmidt was undeniable. The jury heard about the stolen gun, the staged scene, and Schmidt's inconsistent statements to police. They also listened to heartbreaking testimonies from Alana's family, who spoke of the bright and loving girl they had lost. The trial concluded with a guilty verdict. Schmidt was convicted of malice murder, felony murder during the commission of aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, and theft by taking a handgun. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For the Callahan family, the verdict brought some measure of justice, though it could never undo the pain of losing Alana. Today, Lacey Aaron Schmidt remains incarcerated at Hayes State Prison in Georgia. His case continues to spark discussions about the complexities of juvenile justice. At just 14 years old, Schmidt committed a heinous crime, raising questions about accountability, rehabilitation, and the factors that drive young people to violence. For Alana's family, the focus remains on honoring her memory. They remember her as a vibrant and compassionate girl who brought joy to those around her. The story of Aaron Schmidt and Alana Callahan is a tragic reminder of the dangers that can lurk even among those we trust. It's a tale of betrayal, loss, and the devastating impact of violence on a family and a community.
Well, up the top of their road, because stop and tell Amanda I can't be able to go to their house.
Okay, and then you did what?
And I went right back down to my house, but when I got around a little curve, here is Miles Road, because it keeps on going. On Miles Road, there's a bunch of curves and everything. When I went around one curve, I seen him jump over the cable and kept on running.
This cable?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he kept on running.
Which way?
He kept on running straight. He didn't go off because he can't go off in Bob's yard because Bob, he'll shoot. I know he would.
Okay.
He's always up.
Okay.
He's always outside.
Okay.
And right on the other side, there's a fence until they hit Callahan's yard.
Okay.
And so he has to stay in that one area.
Okay.
So
what did you do?
So I just went right through the trails, and I just went on through here to this back trail. And I stopped, and I didn't see nobody in their backyard or anything, but I noticed the back door was open. And I wasn't paying a little too much attention about it, anybody trying to break in. So I just walked back, and there's that field. So I walked back, because right here, where Alana was sitting at, where her body, it leads right back here through the field.
Schmidt knows the area well and knew which spot would be best to conceal Callahan's body. it would be easy for him to describe a fictional chase.
Because there's this open area over here on the other side of the house. Over here, there it leads another trail to that field.
Okay.
But I didn't go that trail because I don't know if anybody wanted me to go on that trail, but that's their property. So I just decided to turn it back around, and I go and look, scan around to that field, and I scan out through the bottom, through that trail, and just scanning out.
And you end up where?
And I ended up at the bottom of the creek, and I came up, and I was looking around, didn't see anybody, and I went up. I know how you can go up the diameter and you lead to another trail. So I lit up here and went to the backyard and went to Amanda. Tried to catch up with Amanda, but she was already leaving.
Okay. At what time did you see the guy on the back porch?
When I quit running for it. I don't know the time because...
No. Where were you at?
Oh, up on that road, halfway up here.
And so you were already up here. You'd already done gone back out and tried to make contact with the man, and you were on up here.
Yes, sir.
Good ways, you say?
Yeah. Yeah, where you can see the back porch and the other porch in the back where the door was open at.
Okay. All right. Okay. Got my head around that a little better. Okay. So after you try to make contact with Amanda, and you realize she's too far up the road for you to make contact with, you do what?
So I just stopped and I turned around to see if Alana was home.
Okay.
But that's when I seen that tallish, blackish dude, but he ain't black, he's white.
Okay.
But I seen his face.
All right.
And he just took off and ran down to, this main creek.
Yeah,
he just
so
ran down there.
you're coming down you're coming down off this main road here,
Yes,
the
sir.
driveway, and you look and you see this guy on the back porch where?
Where the main door was open at.
Okay, so
That
he's
back
up by
door.
the back door, and you can see him up by the back door
Yes, sir.
from up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We're near this open area.
okay,
So I quit it, ended because you can see it go a little bit backwards.
okay. So what? And you said he ran, and where did he ran? You said
He
back
just
down
ran-
toward the
He
creek.
just ran down here to the creek. There's a
driveway?
little driveway down there.
So he ran from the back of the house,
Yes, sir.
outside yard and down the rest
Down
of the
that.
driveway,
Yes, sir. Down to the
Okay.
creek.
and you went where?
I was looking to see if anything was disturbed because I wasn't going to chase him because I couldn't really run for him.
Okay. So where did you check for things being disturbed?
The Callahans, they leave their door open. All I do is open the door and say, "Hello, I'm here."
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I did, but the computer chair was tipped over and I've seen a bunch of red,
Mm-hmm.
and that got me kind of worried and kind of thinking that something happened. But
Okay.
first I thought Alana had spilled her Kool-Aid and was running around, but no one answered, and that's when something popped up in my head that something bad happened. And I went up there and looked at the back door and looked around. There was more red and leading out to the back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Amanda was coming back up. I was looking around looking around the yard, and Amanda asked why I was still back in the yard. I said I seen somebody run up into my yard, that back area,
Mm-hmm.
and I was seeing if y'all was there, but I can't find Alana.
Okay.
And where did you?
Schmidt was so convincing that Callahan's sister believed his story. It wasn't until her own interview with the police that she began to notice the discrepancies. Here's a quick reminder that I have a Patreon page with a ton of exclusive and ad-free content, like this one about a predator that was exposed live on TV. His interrogation is definitely something you'd want to watch, and you can do that right now at patreon.com/Stranger Stories Plus.
Probably her in.
When she pulled up and came inside,
And
and I was coming back in
coming back in which way?
from the front door. Because I was checking out through the creek bank to see if you try to ditch your body. Because there's another trail right here, at least the Callahan's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the first thing I checked, and I just looped around, went back up to the house.
All right.
And that's when Amanda was already there.
Hang tight just a second. You're inside the house. Okay. You walk in the front door. What did you do when you walk in the front door?
I noticed, I took off my shoes because you can't walk in the house with your shoes on the carpet because that's main rule.
Okay.
So I went out there and looked around, and I was was looking around. I was to figure out in my shoe because I saw a bunch of red and I saw that black trail. But I was not even worried about the black trail. But I don't know.
What black trail?
There's like a black trail, but we take out garbage to take out to the burning pit.
Mm-hmm.
To burn. Well, not garbage, but cardboard box and stuff like that. That's why I wasn't too worried about it until I ran down the trail and looked down that way, and I saw something bluish. And that's when I seen Alana, and I went up to see if she was all right, and she wasn't moving or nothing. She had all a red face.
So this is after you saw that you were in the house. You went out, you saw the drag mark, and then you went to see Alana. And then what did you do?
Well, Amanda was there at the time when I went outside again. Well,
I think maybe you might have been getting ahead of me. I'm not sure because I think you're in the house.
Yeah, I'm looking
you
around.
Take your shoes off. You go in the house. Say I'm here.
Yeah.
You look around.
Yeah, I noticed that the chairs tipped over and a bunch of reds on the.
What you thought was
shade.
You said you thought was Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I said hello a couple more times and no one answered. And I looked out the door and there's a bunch of blood on the porch. Well, red on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's blood now because there is someone dead or wounded.
Okay. All right. So then, what'd you do?
Then I walked out around the house and I didn't notice anything strange that way. So I decided to walk down their creek bank.
When you left the house, which way did you go? Front
Down.
door, back door?
I went out the back door and was looking around, seeing if I could see Alana. And I was out there barefooted, well, in my socks.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking around and Amanda was already pulled up and was coming up already in while I was looking around.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back around in the front, got my shoes on, and I said, I don't know where Alana is. Is Alana with you? And she wasn't with her, and that something pointed up. And we went out there and was looking for her. Well, Amanda got in the truck and was speeding forward to that back trail where I was showing you that leads up through here, because she said she didn't care about what my uncle said.
Okay.
She was looking for her sister.
Okay.
And then
Where were you at?
I was, where, well, there's back trail. This is where Alana's laying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ran this way from that back porch and was going down that way again. But when I turned around and walked out in front of that burn pile and was looking down that trail, that's when I saw Alana. And then I got an upset stomach and I was feeling woozy. And Amanda saying, where's she at? Where's she at? And I was saying, down that trail. And she's saying, which trail? There's one behind me? That one or that one? I said, that one over there. And she's saying, and she ran over there and called 911 and just started screaming and crying.
Okay, so when Amanda came in, where did Amanda come in?
To the front door.
And where were you?
I was down here, Gorge, down here in that trail.
Okay, how did you get out of the house?
Through that back door. That was open.
When you went out of the back of the house, and you were at the back. You were in the house. Where did you go? You went out of the back of the house, and where did you go from there?
I went over there to the computers and was.
No. When you came out, when you come out the back door, what did you do when you came out the back door?
I was just looking around, seeing if I seen anything strange.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went on down to that creek bank area, and I stopped and I just turned around right down here. And I wasn't going to go fill a park down there anymore because I already been down there. So I just been up and went up to their house and went to the front door. And the man who was already in there was yelling for Alana and Chase.
Okay.
And I said, is Alana with y'all? And
Okay. So then what did you do?
I put on my shoes and I went out and helped Amanda look for her.
Who went out first?
Amanda and
Okay.
Chase.
Amanda and Chase went out first. You put your shoes on. You went out where?
I went back out the front door and I was looking out through here because she first went up to the top of the road, that main road again, and was looking out around and going slowly, just skinning out through the side of the roads.
Okay.
And she turned around and was coming through here. And that's when I turned around, I went past that burning pile, I saw her.
Okay.
Where did you said you got sick? You throw up?
I couldn't throw up because I didn't eat anything today. I said just a few minutes ago in that man's room. Me and a couple of bags of pretzels.
So when Amanda, she pulled it back here by this trail, right?
Yes, sir. No, she went through her backyard
Right.
to my trail.
To back here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where were you at when she?
I was standing halfway in front of that trail, riding around.
So you were on the driver's side.
Well, you know where that burning pile is? That big old burning pile?
I know where her truck was.
Yeah,
Where it was
and
parked.
right behind it is a big old pile of
Okay.
sticks and stuff like that.
Okay. So her.
And I was standing right there beside it, and I saw something blue, and that's when I saw her.
And Amanda was already back here.
She was already starting to pull in, going that way, and she saw me turn around. She's like, "What's the matter?" And I told her why. And she's saying, where's she at? And I'm telling her, she thought I was talking about this trail, but I was saying that trail. And she ran over and started screaming and crying.
Callahan's sister went into shock at the sight of the body. She had only left Callahan for a short time, and she had no idea that Callahan would be targeted for such a violent act.
Let me ask you this. This is about really the only thing that's kind of, I'm not really sure about. When you looked out the back door and you saw what you said by then you knew was blood, and you saw the drag marks around.
We drag garbage out.
Okay.
That
But you said you already saw the blood. You had, by this time you had already seen the guy in the dark clothing twice. Saw him at least once at the back door or whatever. And you walk in and you see this blood and you see this drag mark leading to that trail over here. Why didn't you follow it?
Because I thought it was because a couple days ago, me, Chase, and Little Paul, because they got another little brother that's got after school that comes at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we was taking out garbage the other day, going out around that tree, because if we kept on going straight, there's like a metal chain out there that we can't hardly notice. But if we drag it over, it's going to rip open the bag and it's going to spill out all that garbage everywhere.
Okay.
So he's telling us to go that way, and that's why I thought I'm used to that black mark. Not until
I mean, I can understand a black mark as far as just a regular black mark that you've seen there all the time. But black mark, and the first part of the black mark is up on the porch, and what's up on the porch?
there's red blood.
Okay. I kind of don't understand why, if you'd already been all around that area of the creek.
Down here,
Well, you said you've been all over there
going down through here in that back trail.
Okay, but
You're in the backyard when you come out the back door, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you turn immediately and go back down the way that you just had already checked. I mean, you came from your house all the way down that trail, all along, searching the fields, looking around, come all the way back up the front of the house and go all the way down, halfway down the driveway, look at that field, look through that field to see the guy on the back porch apparently. Come back around, go in the house, come through the house, see the blood, see the drag trail leading right back around to the only area where you have not been. And what do you do when you come out of the back door again? You go immediately back down to the other area which you've already checked, which you said that you already knew he wasn't down there.
No, down here. I knew he wasn't down there. I did not check this one trail right through there.
Yeah, but I mean, is there anything that would have led you to believe that he would have hung around in that one trail? I mean, you've been all over that area all through there.
I don't know. All I did was check real fast if he was still lingering around the edge of the
I mean,
woods.
you told me earlier that you saw him. He ran down this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had first seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the second time seeing him on the back porch. He jumped off the back porch and was running
Ran
down
down
through
this
that
way.
way,
Yeah.
down to the creek.
Down here. So you come out the back door to check to see if anything's missing or out of place, and you find drag marks that are out of place, right?
Well, I'm used to those black drag marks because that's what I was telling y'all about. I was taking out those
Okay, so
bags of.
you saw him go down this way, and you looked around thinking, why didn't you come over here?
Because I thought he would still be lingering around. I want to say he left something, but he didn't.
What do you mean?
Like he's trying to linger around, trying to come back and get something. That's why I didn't double check it because I've never been on that one trail. So I just went down there and looked real fast, and I came back down this road. And I didn't worry about that part, so I just went back up to the house, and Amanda was already in the house. Because she pulled up with Chase, and they went inside, and I went inside and got my shoes. And they asked if they seen Alana, and I said, no, have y'all?
Callahan was at the computer when she was shot in the back of the head. She was used to Schmidt coming to her house on an almost daily basis, so she would have been comfortable enough keeping her back to him.
And that's when that thing went out.
Did you bother to tell Amanda at the time that she said, hey, have you seen Alana? Did you bother to tell her about the blood on the back porch or the blood?
Yeah, she's seen it. Seen everything. She's seen everything. She's the second person who went over there and looked at the computer area.
Did you say, tell her about the blackish white guy that was on the back porch?
I told her everything. That's when she got in the truck and was going around.
Well, you told her he was on the back porch?
I told her everything.
The only thing I can tell you is, I can understand most everything you're telling me. And you have to kind of go with me here on this. Do you know anything about how kind of this thing works as far as, crime scene investigations and all that kind of stuff? You know how any of that works? I mean, you ever seen anything like CSI or anything like that?
Well, I have, but I'm not really paying attention to it.
Don't really pay attention to it. I mean, I don't know if you like it or not, but that's, kind of part of this falls into that CSI kind of thing. No, we don't do it all in 1 hour and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it takes a little bit longer, but one of the things that we did is we had dogs come out. I don't know if you saw them or not.
And I saw one.
You saw one. There was at least 2 we had out there. And do you have any idea what those dogs do?
No, not really. All I know from one time from Jersey to last Thursday, we had like a little event for the military was showing off the dogs, little tricks they smell out, like weapons, stuff like that, drugs, bombs, stuff like that.
Yeah. And also ours,
and guard dogs.
people.
What we call tracking dogs.
Tracking dogs. And we had not 1 but 2 dogs go all over that area, from the back of the house all the way back down that trail as far as they could go, and back down toward the creek and all over that area. And you know one thing they didn't find? They didn't find a trail. The dogs kept kind of looping back around back to the house. And I'm trying to wonder if there was another person down there besides you that was leaving a trail down there that was doing all that running around that you said you saw him doing. Why wouldn't we have a trail back there for that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, sir.
The detectives are starting to point out flaws in Schmidt's story. Schmidt, rather than risk an explanation that would give away more, chooses to feign ignorance.
I can think of an explanation. You can't think of an explanation?
No, sir.
Well, and even under the standpoint of they went over there in that area where Alana was and worked that area too. I would figure any area would be pretty hot and heavy on that, then they could pick something off of that. And weren't able to do that either. So I'm just wondering if maybe you could kind of fill in some blanks for me there on I mean, these dogs are trained. I mean, they're trained.
I know they're trained. They're trained to do their job.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I do know about the dogs. The dogs, I don't have to worry about back talking us, or the dogs, I don't have to worry about second guessing. Once you put them down there, they just run and smell.
But all dogs do.
Pretty much, other than eating and pooping, right?
Yeah.
But if I've got a dog down there and I've got not one, we think, well, maybe that dog's not having a good day. Because I mean, like people that don't have good days sometimes. Not always, not a whole lot, but sometimes they're, you know. So we put 2, just to be on the safe side. Did the same thing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're not trying to say anything one way or the other. We're trying to get a big picture because.
Yeah, you trying to, because it kind of don't throw out a good picture because dogs can't get missing.
Well, it would be different if it was some, maybe, because we've had that before. Well, maybe. I mean, I got all the way down as far as here, but that's about it. I'm talking about zilch, none, 0. I'm talking about running around down there all throughout that area where you said you saw this person running and nothing. I mean, the dog didn't even act like it was even neither one of them.
Because right where that fence is, I was following footprints. That's why.
And that's where I was going with it too, because they went down there and the handlers have somebody with them called a spotter.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the spotter's job is?
And see if he sees anything.
And to take care of the handler and make sure that the handler's concentrating on the dog. If the dog does anything that says, who got something here, the handler's going to see that. The spotter looks around the handler. So if he sees anything or anybody or anything of any kind of, significance, he'll know where it is and he can mark it. So in case they have to come back. Nothing. Not footprints, not nothing. You know how muddy it was. I mean, you see all this mud right here. He's got it all over his pants. He's got a little bit there too. But I was walking around and stuff and I was trying to be careful and I was stomping all through it. And I mean, there was all kind of footprints and stuff down there, but get off down in that muddy area down there around that creek. And there's no
suction cup.
Yeah, but there was nothing.
Schmidt did not plan well enough to lay evidence to support his story. He didn't even bother running along the route to break up the underbrush.
So unless this person evaporated,
not in the system.
So what does that lead us? Where does that lead us back to?
It almost leads back to me. But maybe it leads to.
Is there any chance that maybe there wasn't that second guy, that other guy?
It wasn't another guy.
Well, I mean, but how, you just said yourself. I mean, people don't just evaporate into thin air.
I know what you're saying, but I know I wouldn't even hurt him long.
Didn't think you would.
Because I treat her like my sister.
And that's where I was going to go with it. I mean, from what I understand, you're very good with her.
We've been good friends ever since she moved there.
Yep. I mean, did y'all date it ever?
At first, but kind of went out. So then we just became friends because she says if it don't work out, let's just be real friends.
Callahan's parents were troubled by some of Schmidt's behavior and convinced Callahan to end their romantic relationship.
What led to that, and we led to be real good friends.
Okay. Real good friends. And from what I gather from everybody that I've talked to, that we've talked to, that's what they said. I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination, that what happened was something that was malicious. I mean, that's another thing that we can kind of tell. When we see these things and we were trying to put 2 and 2 together here, we want them to add up to 4. You know? And it's just a matter of getting a few pieces of the puzzle together to kind of get there. And one of those huge pieces of the puzzle that didn't fit was that fact about the guy. But the other one is, we can kind of tell that this is not something that we think that was just a malicious deal. I mean, truth be known, it could have been an accident.
Yes, sir.
I mean, things could have happened, and it might have been one of them unfortunate deals. I mean, I don't know, there was a movie out at one time called Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events.
I've seen that.
I hadn't either. I've just heard the title and it kind of fits. You know, kind of in a series of unfortunate events. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody went out here and planned to do this, like some cold-hearted, callous person did, but maybe, just maybe, things happen in such a way that it was an accident. Didn't mean for it to happen. And, you know, they happen, and we try to get past them, and, you know, the person that, you know, did these things is extremely, extremely sorry for it and wants things to be different more than anything in this world wants things to be different. The only thing that I could tell a person in that situation would be what we know we can work with, what we don't know, we'll have to add our own thing to the equation and come out with 4. And sometimes, you know, that doesn't always look good.
Yes, sir.
So the only thing I'm telling you is, if you'll help me, I'll try to do everything I can to make sure that we keep this straight and that we give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But certain things I don't think are adding up, and I don't want to wind up going out of here and giving anybody the wrong impression about things. Is there anything that you need to change about what happened?
No, there's not. No, I know that it's changeable because I know I didn't put nothing in there that I did. Because I can't do stuff like that.
You can't do stuff like what?
Try to hurt her. She's actually a nice person. I almost know.
Sure. Well, I mean, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. But if there is stuff there that says you were there, how are we going to get around that? Because there again, I mean, CSI, the way it works is we find things. Sometimes we don't find anything. Other times we find stuff. And when we find stuff, you know, it's got to come from somewhere.
Mm.
There's got to be an explanation.
You got to be. And there ain't but one explanation. Well, there's 2 explanations. There's what I can make of it, or there's what I'm told. And I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt without trying to put words in their mouth or without trying to make anything of it.
I don't think that something else happened, but it didn't happen.
I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Aaron, that's your name? My name's Frank Dodson. This is Richard Douglas. You got some water there? Good to go? You sleepy? All right. Look here. Investigator Jones and Edmonds have been in here talking with you, right? Before we put you back talking with them, I just want you one more time to tell me exactly what happened from point A to point B. And I understand, dude. Look at me. Look at me now. I understand. It's tough. You know, you got a friend of yours. You want to see a picture of her? You don't want to see? We got a picture of her if you want to see one. Okay. I know it's tough. And I know it's hard for you to recall in your mind the events that have happened that's caused this girl to be dead. But I need you to just do that one more time for me, okay? Because I come in and got your swabs. You know, we checked the sink. No prints on the gun. The rag thing turned out to be, you know, not true. So, explain to me exactly what happened.
She wanted, well, because the other couple of days ago, the door was open.
No, what caused you, no, listen to me, what caused you to go to her house today? Why did you go to this girl's house? What's her name?
Amanda's.
The girl that's dead?
Long.
Is that the girl that got shot in the head? Okay. Why was you at her house today?
Well, I went over there to tell her to remind Amanda or just go up to Miss Betty to tell her that I'm on restriction for 2 weeks.
Why does she need to tell them that?
Because I told Amanda, and I know Amanda sometimes forgets. Because Miss
You
Betty
told
always,
Amanda that you were on restriction, but then you went to this girl's house to remind Amanda that you were on restriction? That didn't make sense.
Well, because sometimes Amanda forgets because she's all the time busy with Chase and little Paul.
But you told her, you said, Amanda, I'm on restriction, is that right? So then you went over to this girl's house who's now dead, and you said, hey, remind Amanda that I'm on restriction, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and who's Betty?
Her mom.
Whose mom? The dead girl? What's the dead girl's name?
Alana.
Alana, okay,
Stop
Alana.
saying dead girl.
I'm sorry, but she is dead, so, okay. All right, so Alana. So you went to Alana's house today to tell Alana, hey, when you see Betty and when you see, what's her name? Amanda, remind them I'm on restriction. All right, so you go to the house to do that. What door did you go in when you got to the house?
Front door.
Did she let you in?
Yes, sir. I knocked on the door and she let me in.
Okay.
But she said, hold up. Didn't you say he was on restriction? I said, yeah, but I'm here to let you know, to remind Amanda.
When did you tell her you was on restriction?
I texted, no, I didn't text her.
Tell the truth.
I am telling the truth.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Why would you go to her house to tell her you're on restriction when she opens the door to you and like, oh dude, you can't be here, you're on restriction? That doesn't make sense. She already knows you're on restriction. Why would you go to tell her? She had to know. Who told her?
Huh? Amanda. I believe. I don't know. I never even told her.
You never told
I
who?
told Amanda.
Right. So you're going to what's her
tell
name?
Alana.
Alana. Tell Alana,
Right.
hey, I'm on restriction. But when she opens the door, she knows you're on restriction.
They've switched in new people to question Schmidt. The change in approach, combined with the more focused questions about the inconsistencies in his story, should shake him up.
And what did she say to you?
Well, but when I walked in, she said, "Take off."
Wait a minute. She opens the door and she says, "Oh, wait a minute. You're on restriction, right?" Did that stop you at the front door for a second till you tried to explain to her? What did you tell her to get you in the house? If she stopped and was kind of wary about you coming in the house and saying, "Well, wait a minute. What got you in the house?"
She told me to come in real fast.
Oh, what do you mean, come in real fast? What does that mean? No, I'm just trying to understand, really, dude.
I'm talking about going in and help her with something, and I didn't know what to do.
Okay, here we go. Who is it? Yeah. Okay. Open door. Hey, man, you're on restriction. That's where we're at. Okay. She recognized that you were on restriction. You tell me you were there to tell her that you're on restriction. Okay. What you just told me was that she stopped you at the front door. And by stopped, I don't mean kick you in the groin or nothing. She just said, "Oh, wait a minute." Okay. What happened after that?
Because when I turned around, I was about to leave. She said, since I was there, can you hold up for a minute and help me out? Because she asked before if I can help her out with the gun issues, stuff like that.
What did she ask you to help her out with that got you in the house today?
She just said, "Come here real fast and help," because I always help her out with anything.
Help me bake a cake, help me sew a hat, help me shine a shoe. What was you in the house to do today? What were you going in there to help her do today? What put you in the house?
I don't know. She told me when she sat down on Facebook and she was going to say, "Oh, hold up, I got to delete this picture and put in a couple more on there." And I said, "Hold up, you asked me to come in and help you."
Whoa, dude. We're not at the computer yet. We've not even made it past the front door. Don't jump to the computer. Okay? She stops you at the front door because you're on restriction. Okay? She says, "Come in and help me." What?
She just said, "Come here and help me out real fast."
Okay.
Something. And I just said, "All right."
And it could have been anything as far as you knew.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You say sure.
And I walk in, I open the door and walk in and take off my shoes like usual because Miss Betty hates us walking on the carpet.
So when we call Miss Betty, she's going to say, "Yes, sir, they better not nobody ever come in my house with shoes on because I get in that ass." Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Miss Betty's going to say that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So I take off my shoes. And she said, "Remember the day that I told you about I needed help with that something?" And I was like,
No.
What?
Okay.
I was like, "You talking about the day I came in when the door was wide open?" And she's like, "Yeah." She wanted to know how to use the gun in case somebody came in.
What day did you go to her house when the door was wide open? How long ago's that been? And who was there that might could help us prove that? What day was that? Was that a day that you might have got on Facebook and found a new friend and that'll refresh your memory? Was it a day you got a new pocket knife? And what day was
I
it?
can't have pocket knives.
Okay, then how about in your chain? Whatever it was
on
that you walked.
Wednesday because I was in my uniform.
What Wednesday?
Last Wednesday.
So today's Monday. This past Wednesday, you went to her house.
And the door was wide open, and usually they...
Was you on restriction last Wednesday?
No, sir. Last Wednesday was off.
What got you on restriction between Wednesday and today?
Well, not today. It was last Saturday because these boys came over at late, at 11:30 something. I was supposed to wake up my sister. I didn't know. I didn't want to wake her up because usually she gets grumpy and everything.
What got you on? What'd you do?
I went down there to get my money back, and chaos went in.
And what?
Chaos means fighting.
So you was out fighting late at night.
David, Tyler, Reed, and...
I don't care who all was there. You was out fighting late at night. That's what got you on restriction.
Yes, sir.
And that was when? This past Saturday night?
Yes, sir.
What day did you go to Amanda and tell her, hey, I'm on restriction?
Monday. Sunday I couldn't go over there to talk to her.
Today's Monday.
Sunday.
Oh, you told her Sunday, this past Sunday.
No, today I told her. I'm talking about I couldn't go over there Sunday, tell her, because I went to church and my cousin, my aunt made me go over there to his house and spend the night, and
Okay.
they don't like me really touching their phone and stuff like that.
Okay, so Wednesday night, or Wednesday during the day, you go over to, what's her name? Alana. You go over to Alana's house, the door's wide open. What does that mean? The door's just wide open, or does it mean it's screened?
Usually they leave the front door open,
Okay.
and leave the
Right.
little latch door closed. And
Wait a minute.
somebody will be in there.
It was open today like that. It wasn't?
I had to knock on the door.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so you just went on in the house? I mean, is that
Yeah,
common?
they tell me to open the door and say I'm here, and I did, and no one answered.
Schmidt has to retell his story from the beginning, and many of his movements don't make sense. He also leaves out important details, such as Callahan's mother not wanting him to enter their house so freely.
And I said, if anybody's here, I'm using the bathroom real fast. I went in the bathroom, and Alana comes in, and Amanda comes in, and within a couple minutes.
So they were both in the house, or they came in after you got in and started using the bathroom?
Yeah, and when I came out, well, before...
They were in the house and didn't hear you, or they came in after you got in the house?
After I got in the house.
Okay, all right.
I thought they were in the house because they don't leave the door unlocked and open like that.
Okay.
And so I came in and went to the bathroom. When I got done and flushed them over to come out, Lana went to go close the door because Amanda asked her to.
Close what door to what room?
The front door.
To the house?
Yeah, because when the sun hits it, it reflects the TV. And
but all you was in there was to go pee?
Yes, sir.
Or you didn't do, did you? Just
No.
pee. All right.
And I came out and she screamed and Amanda screamed and Lana screamed and...
So you scared them?
Yeah, and I didn't mean to scare them because I thought they was already in the house. I'm like,
where were they at?
In the living room.
So they were in the house?
When I came in before them.
Where were they at when you went in the house? What were they doing? Were they hanging
No,
clothes?
they wasn't even in the house.
Where were they at?
I don't know.
Oh, so they just came in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they screamed because you scared them. You come out of the bathroom, and what happens?
And they said, how did I get in here? I was like, you left the front door open. And they said, no, I didn't. And I was locked it. Yeah, then if you locked it, I wouldn't be standing right here right now. And she kept on mumbling, like, go check every closet.
Who did? Who said that?
Amanda.
Why?
But she was on the plane because she thought, because the door, you got to close it all the way. If not,
why would she want somebody to check the closets if you're in the house? You think you should go and take something, or?
No, she just says that in case if somebody's in the closet hiding.
Okay, go ahead with it.
Well, she said that, and Alana went around checking every closet like a little nut.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And we laughed at her. It was kind of funny.
Who laughed at her?
Amanda, then I did. Then after that, everything was all right, but we didn't. Amanda said she probably halfway closed it and locked it. And it
The door issue is good. Let's move on. What did Alana say? What's going on? What did she say?
What, today?
No. When you scared him in the house, what did
she was like, just screamed. And I was like, shoot. Yeah, I thought I scared you. You scared me more than with your scream.
Right. What other conversations y'all have that day?
Nothing about only when she's at school. She come in and tell everything that she did that day.
See, here's the deal. You just sat right here and told me that The reason you got in the house today was because Alana wanted to talk to you about that thing that you were at her house for this past Wednesday, and you just now telling me that y'all ain't talked about a thing. All you did was scare them and they screamed. That don't make sense.
I know. Because they...
What did Alana want you to help her with last Wednesday that you showed up at her house today and she reminds you, hey, come in and help me with that thing last Wednesday I talked to you about?
Oh, she was talking about using that using the gun.
Okay,
like,
you walk out of the bathroom, ha! You scared her. You scared her. She's scared. She goes and checks all the closets. What happens then? What conversation did you have with her?
Later that night, when Amanda was in the living room with the boys doing homework, they got homework. Well, we went in the kitchen and got a little snack, and she was like mumbling at me, hey, you mind?
Later that night, did you come back or did you stay the rest of the day?
I stayed there. Because I stayed there until 8 or 9.
Okay. How did you just forget to tell me that when I asked you what did she do after y'all screamed and after she screamed you said nothing?
I wasn't noticing. I wasn't thinking about if you was talking about the gun incidents.
There's a dead girl. You need to think. You need
I'm
to.
not,
I know.
trying to say I was trying to say.
I want you to understand. You need to pay attention to what I'm saying. I want you to give me every detail. Don't leave nothing out. Nothing. I want to know everything. Everything. Okay?
Yes,
It's
sir.
very, very important. You told me you went to her house today. She let you in because she wanted you to help her with that thing y'all talked about last Wednesday. And now you forgot to tell me about the thing you talked about last Wednesday, except now you're saying it was Wednesday night. She talked to you about what?
Well, when we got our snack, we sat down and she was like, well, kind of being quiet a little bit so Amanda don't hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she like, you mind showing me how to use the guns around here? And I was like, which ones? All I know is that your dad and Manly's got a 308, and she's like, I know that.
How do you know he's got a 308?
Because we target practice with it.
Who targets practice?
Bruce and Paul.
What's Bruce's name? Last name, sorry.
Unlike with the previous detectives, Schmidt isn't given as much time to think between questions. He's rattled and having trouble keeping the details straight.
I don't know. All I know.
Bruce and Paul?
Yes, sir.
But we go to them and talk to them. They say, yeah, we shoot with him all the time. Target practice, everything. That's verifiable. So
she's like,
so when I go talk to them, they'll agree with that, right?
Yeah, that they
Okay.
target practice.
All right. With you.
I don't target practice with them. No.
If I go to, no. I ask you, how do you know he has a 308? And you said you target practice with him.
Well, what I meant by that,
you
I'm
better
there
tell me what you
because
mean.
I'm not allowed to touch that gun.
Then how do you know he has a 308 if you ain't never shot it?
The thing is, he hunts.
Does he take you with him?
No.
Well, then how do you know he's got a 308? How do you know
I'm not
that?
blind. I'm not stupid. I see it. He pulls it out.
That's what I want to know. That's all you got to tell me. I see it. I see it in the corner of the house. You got to tell me these
I
things.
didn't see it in the courthouse because mainly he pulls it out and he'd be target practicing.
But the reason you know he has a 308 is because he showed it to you before, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, she mentions the 308, or she doesn't. What?
She did. No, she already knows about 308 because her dad let her try it out and she knocked herself to the
Okay, so then what did she move on to?
And she like, Bruce handed him another gun, and I was like, what kind
Bruce
of gun?
handed him another gun?
Mr. Paul, her dad, another gun.
Gave him another gun.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, gave or borrow, I don't know.
So Paul is her granddad and Bruce is her dad? No.
Other way.
Paul is
This
her dad
is
and
her-
Bruce is her...
No, Bruce is Mr. Paul's best friend.
Okay. All right, so ever how it worked out, her dad wound up with a 9mm.
Yes,
And what did she say Wednesday night when you were at her house and she was talking softly?
And she was like, hey, man, trying to show me how to work it. And I was
She
like,
said what?
show her how to work it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Showing you how to work with what? The little gun that my dad got. Like, what kind of little gun? She knows where it was, and she showed me
Where did she show you?
a 9mm.
Where was it at when she showed it to you? Did she show it to you Wednesday night?
Yes, sir.
Where was it at when she
It
showed it
was
to you?
in her dad's room underneath a bunch of hats and sunglasses.
What was it in?
It wasn't in nothing.
Just laying there by itself
Yes,
between two hats.
No, underneath the hats. Like slanted so the handle was showing.
But there was a hat on top of it, and it was laying under a hat, right?
And under 3 hats and 2 sunglasses on it.
Okay. So, how did she show you the gun? How did she move the hats? What did she do to make you see the gun?
She said it was right there. She pointed at it, and she moved the hat.
She pointed at a stack of hats and said it's right there.
Yeah, I was like, what? And I was like, like
What?
you just did, like stack of hats.
Okay.
So she moves the hats, because she said she didn't want to touch the gun. I was like, if you don't want to touch it,
She never
why do you
has
tell me?
touched it. She never has touched it.
No?
No. Friends ain't know it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay.
And, okay, what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And she's like, I don't want to touch it. I was like, why? You want me to show you how to work this thing, even though I don't know how to work it, but yet you want me to show you. But yet you don't want to touch it. And so we carry on. I was like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably a bad feeling. And I didn't do it that day.
So
I said maybe.
you
And
covered.
she carried it on to today.
So you covered the gun back up, or
Yeah, we set the hats and sunglasses right back on top of it.
y'all walk out of the room, and then what happens? What conversations do you have?
We just went to Facebook, and she was showing me a bunch of her friends and talking about them.
Okay. All right. And
And Amanda,
when do you leave the house that night?
I go home around 8 o'clock or 7.
Wednesday night. Okay.
Yes, I go. That's regular for over there. They take me home.
Have you had any contact with her since last Wednesday until today? Did you see her Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I seen her Thursday and Friday, and no, I couldn't see her Saturday nor Sunday because I went to Tom's house.
When you saw her Thursday and Friday, did you just go to her house to hang out? Did she mention the gun again? Never mentioned, never brought it back up.
No, she was trying to tell me something Friday. I was completely out of it Friday because I had to leave early because I had to go home.
What do you mean you were completely out of it Friday?
Because I got kind of jumped by 5 black boys and my face was hurting and everything. I was trying to get home.
Did you report that?
Uh-huh.
Did
My
you?
sister.
No, did you report getting beat up by
Yes.
the black guys?
I didn't feel like talking really
Yeah.
about that.
I understand. Headache and all
I
that.
didn't want to hurt the boys' feelings. I didn't want to come over because I was in pain. But I just sat there on the couch, played a little video game with the boys, and we just horseplayed around
What night was that?
Friday.
There are few details that can be verified, but the important information, such as Callahan asking him for help, cannot. There's no other evidence to suggest she was afraid of an intruder. If she had been, she would have locked the door while her sister was away.
And what boys was that?
Chasing little ball.
Okay. But you were at the other girl's house Thursday and Friday night, right?
Alana?
No.
Yeah, that's still the same
So
house.
they were over there too.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
their brothers.
Okay. So you show up today. She says, "Come on in. I want to talk about that thing we talked about Wednesday night. You knew, ding ding. It's about the gun. It's about the gun that I don't know nothing about. She don't know nothing about. I shouldn't handle it, and she sure shouldn't handle it. But you know that's what she wants to talk to you about. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you see the back of her as she starts walking away from you, going into the house? Do you follow her? Is that the way it goes, or what?
No, we'll just bump. She told me that it would be alright if I could just try to mess with it, but
No. When you walk in the door and you realize she wants you to help her work on this thing from last
Today?
Wednesday, just today.
Alright.
Okay. Where do y'all go after you go into the room? After you walk in the front door of the house and you make contact with her, what happens then?
we go straight to the computer and we talk a little bit, and
Go straight to the computer. She sits down and what's she doing?
she's just
Because we
typing.
got her computer, we'll know everything she did. So just throwing that out
She
there.
was
So you
typing and trying to edit her Facebook pictures around.
edit them around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like delete and add more on.
Where were you at?
I was in the bathroom at the time, and I came out, and she wanted me to come back over and help, and she like trying to point out which pictures and which, and I
She wanted you to help her
like
do what?
pick pictures out.
Okay.
of,
Of
like,
friends?
Yeah,
Like who's good looking and who's not, who's hot and whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I was like, I guess maybe, and within a couple minutes later, she was like, this is topped off.
She said what?
She like topped off. It means top of my head. Get it? Like top off.
No, I'm totally lost, dude. What does that mean?
I mean, it just popped up. Right, the top of her head. Like,
Oh, just out of the clear blue. Bam. Like, bam.
Yeah.
Out of the clear blue. She says what?
She's like, you're supposed to, aren't you going to show me how to use it? And I was like, use that. Use the gun? I was like, how can I show you when I don't hardly even know how to use it myself?
So she's on the computer typing. Is she in the middle of typing when she says, oh, wait a minute. Hey, how did that
And
happen?
now she turned and looked at me and was talking to me.
Okay.
I was like, guess maybe, maybe not. I just got a bad feeling about it. And we went and got it. And we walked out.
Who went and got it? You and her went in the room.
Yeah.
What happened in the
She
room?
moved the hats and she said, told me to grab it. And I grabbed it. And the hammer was already ready back, already pulled back. I was like,
Is it the same way that way Wednesday when you looked at it?
yes, sir. I wasn't paying attention that much, but all I know is still the same thing I was looking. And all I did is grab it. And I was like,
Why did you grab it if you didn't know how to use it or you didn't know what you were doing? Why did you even touch it?
well, I know how to use a regular pistol, but I don't know about a 9mm.
Then why did you touch it? It ain't a regular pistol. It's a 9mm. Why did you touch it if you didn't know
I
what
didn't
you
want to hurt her feelings. I don't know how to do it, even though I told her and told her and told her, and she just kept on going on it. And I was like, fine, all right.
So she kept on and on and on and on you about you show her how to use the handgun?
Yes, sir.
Why?
And she said because in case if somebody tries to break in or do something.
We've checked the residence. There's never been a break-in over there.
Exactly. That's what I've been telling her. It's always clean down here. She's like,
It's always
so?
clean. Where, on Miles Road?
No, about breaking in.
Callahan was supposedly worried. Yet, as soon as he was in the house, she went back to focusing on the computer. Then, according to Schmidt, she randomly switches back to the gun. Nothing about this interaction feels authentic.
I ain't saying about clean like drugs, stuff like that, because it ain't. Joke me about that.
So the whole reason she kept on nagging and nagging and bugging you,
Because she didn't want anybody to break in or do something to her.
so
Because sometimes she gets off the bus and she's
So
at the
at
house
14
herself.
years old, she's wanting to learn, she's on you about wanting to learn how to shoot a handgun.
Yes, sir.
14 years old,
Yes, sir.
a female
Yes, sir.
that's on Facebook most of the time and worried about who's good looking and who's not. She's going to be worried about wanting to learn how to
because-
shoot a handgun.
Yes, sir. Because now it may sound stupid, but
May?
I'm not saying it is or isn't.
Well, how about let me tell you?
You're gonna say it is.
I mean, this,
Because she said she's been seeing something going around her house, messing around. Because
like what?
like a head. She's saying she's been seeing a face around.
somebody saw you dressed in camouflage watching their daughter change into pajamas.
What?
Yeah. We got a guy that's done come up here and said, you've been sitting there in the woods or wherever it's at. Maybe you don't have woods. Don't start splitting hairs with me. But he knows that you've been watching his daughter change into the pajamas.
You're coming outside at night getting
Yes, sir.
firewood.
I know that for a fact. That is a fact. And don't sit there and deny it. You know that's true.
Wonder
What are
whose
y'all
head
talking
is
about?
seen walking around the woods over there all the time.
I'm talking about another family whose daughter you've been watching change pajamas, change panties, drawers. I don't know. Maybe it's not pajamas. So if you sit there and watched her change a 1970s pantsuit, don't split hairs with me. He knows you've been watching her daughter, his daughter, do something. Because he's going to
Thank
come up
you
here
for
and tell
joining
us.
us
And
as
I
we
can tell by
revisited
that
this
look on your
heart-wrenching
face, you're
case.
going, you know what, God
If you
dang it, how
found
did
this
they
story
find that out?
compelling, please like,
Dude, we
share,
got
and
nothing
subscribe
about
to our
this.
channel for more
I don't know what
in-depth
y'all
true crime
talking about.
investigations.
I'm
And as
afraid we're going
always,
to go off on
stay
another
safe.
tangent of lies, so let's just redirect
All
ourselves.
right. You know, look, let's just do this. What possessed you to pick the gun up today that you didn't do it Wednesday?
Because she nagged and nagged and nagged.
All right. What hand did you use to pick the gun up with?
Right hand.
Okay. What happened when you picked it up?
When
Walk
I
me
picked
through
it up, I was noticing that the hammer was back. And
Okay.
I was like, I don't know if it was loaded or not. So I took out the magazine by a little button because I just barely even grabbed the handle.
How did you know to take them? How did you know that released the magazine?
Well, I didn't know at the time. All I did was grab the handle and it just let it go. And I noticed that there was a button. So I just kept on fiddling around with it and it fell out. And when it fell out, I saw the bullets. And I didn't know how to get the bullet and see if there's a bullet inside the chamber or not. So I was doing this, trying to get it out.
All right, now, what you're telling me, we've never left the bedroom, so you're still in the bedroom jacking around with the gun. So unless you've missed some steps here, I'm still in the bedroom and so's the girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to see if it would pop back out.
All right, where's she at while you're standing there in the bedroom?
It's like, it's supposed to go backwards. I was like, I'm trying to make it go backwards, and it won't go backwards. And
she says that to you?
Yes,
okay.
Get the bullet out, and it didn't want to go out.
All right.
So we walked to the bed, to the back of the computer. I sit behind her at that little wooden chair, table looking thing, whatever you want to call it. I'm still farting around with it.
Let's see if we can figure out. Is it a table like this?
Probably lower.
Okay.
I sit down, still feeling fart with it, and I got up and I went like this. And I wasn't realizing where my hand was, and it was on the trigger, and it went off, and it got her.
Well, let me ask you this. Why did you lie?
Schmidt hangs his head to avoid making eye contact, which he has done multiple times throughout the interview.
Let me just pick one thing. Why did you lie to the investigators?
About what?
About her touching the gun and fumbling with it and her finally handing it to you. Why did you lie? Why did you make me go through all that process of having it fingerprinted for me to have to walk in here and say, you know what? Her prints ain't all over it. Why did you lie and tell those investigators that she touched that gun when that dead girl has never put her fingers on that gun? Why did you lie about that?
I don't know.
Sure you do. Why did you lie in an official investigation where someone you know is dead and you have drugged their body out?
That they're dead.
You're not going to do that to me.
Not until you just said that the dead girls.
What?
Until you kept on saying the dead girl, and that's when I finally figured out that she was finally dead.
You think she's been alive all this time?
I don't know. All I know is she wasn't moving or not.
And she's gargling.
Huh?
That come out of your own mouth.
What?
You said she was gargling.
Yeah, she was.
And then she didn't. She was laying there, not moving and not breathing.
Yes.
What normally happens when somebody's gurgling and they quit breathing?
You know when you ask that deputy what happens when you shoot a deer and it gurgles? You know there ain't much life left in it. You know enough about that to know. Sure, you know she was dead. The point I'm trying to make here is, why did you lie to the investigators and lead them to believe that that girl had put her hands on that weapon when she had not even touched it? Why did you lie about that and mislead them and make them go and do extra work and me extra work? Why has it took the last 4 hours to try and get the truth out of you when you could have sat here and told us the whole story and be done with it? But yet every time I walk in with something, I'm going to do I'm going to do the gun residue. You add something more to your story. That is a lie. Why are you lying about this?
I don't want to go to YAC.
Why did you lie and tell those investigators that that dead girl put her hands on that weapon? Why did you say that to them? Why did you lead them to believe that? You know what? If you're scared, if you're really scared about what's going to happen to you, you better start telling the truth. You better start telling the whole truth. Because let me finish, because you know what? When I finally do go home tonight, my conscience is going to be clear that I gave you every opportunity, me and this man right here, sat here and gave you every opportunity to tell us the entire truth. That girl is at the GBI crime lab. I don't know what they're going to find. I don't believe you've told us the whole truth. I don't know if they're going to start cleaning her up and there's going to be a press contact wound right there that a weapon makes. I don't know that. In your mind, though, you know the truth. You know what's eventually going to happen when, just by the mere nature of it, it can't be done at night. It has to be done in the morning, when all the pathologists and all the people with PhDs and all that, when they come into work at 9 in the morning and they start looking at this girl, they're going to be able to tell us stuff that we just don't know tonight. So what all I have to depend on is by the way you're acting and by the way you have misled these investigators, you have told them lie after lie after lie. And trust me, when the district attorney's office gets this, they're going to be concerned about all these lies. Well, why did he lie to y'all? Well, he told us, I don't know. That's not going to cut it. You need to tell me the truth. You need to tell me the whole truth, because when that body is cleaned up, when that house that nobody's going back into tonight or tomorrow except for us, till we get through sweeping it with a fine-tooth comb and we found the 9mm casing.
The investigator has positioned himself to be in Schmidt's personal space to make him uncomfortable. Sometimes people will respond by blurting out the truth to get the other person to move away.
We're going to have to wind up coming back to see you because we're going to have evidence that proves what you've told us tonight. If your final version of what you say happened remains as it is.
I told the same guys who was just here
If
the
the
story
same,
I'm saying.
well, I know you did, but it ain't the truth. And when that body is cleaned up, when that trajectory, when they take a rod and they put it through the hole, they're going to tell where you were at. I can't do that here. I don't have the math. I don't have the dowel rods, and I don't have all that crap. When they start doing that, if you watch CSI, you know that alone is enough evidence. And when the DA's office gets a hold of this, I say, well, was he helpful? Did he finally say, you know what, okay, dang, here's what happened. No, he sat there and just lied to us time after time. Here's the specific lies he told. Well, what did the scientific evidence prove? What did the evidence prove that some man has went 10 years to college and paid $60,000 to get up on the stand, and what he says is the God's honest truth and it could put you in jail? What is his opinion? Well, his opinion was it didn't happen like he said it did. You through. If you let us leave this room, and we're going to be the last two people you talk to, if you let me and him leave this room with what you've told us right now, you're in for a long road. You need to man up. I can't change what's happened. I can't wave a magic wand. I can't make water go back under the bridge. What's happened has happened. You need to worry about what's going to happen to you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. Right now, you're just focused on RYDC, YDC. We can't even get out of this room. We can't even get past this room to even try and worry about what might happen to you. I've been doing this for 25 years. Okay? He's been doing it just as long. I can tell just by the way you're acting. I can tell because you've said you have gave us so many lies. You made me go look for a rag that's even non-existent. You made me fingerprint a gun that don't even have a dead girl's prints on it. When you do that, you're trying to muddy the water. You're keeping me from the truth because you're making me go around this way. You need to tell me the truth about what happened. I don't know what happened. Tomorrow morning, about maybe 11, after they've done the autopsy and all that, they're going to do everything. Rape kit, check her fingernails, and they do all that. Standard autopsy stuff, do all the, put the lasers. I said dowel rods, that's old school. That stuff like they did back in his time. No, they use lasers and stuff nowadays. Okay? So, with all that in mind, knowing that if we leave here, only you know if you told me the truth. Only you know what that body's going to say when it's cleaned up. My God, this sounds like an episode of CSI, don't it? The dead body speaks. If we have to come back to you because you forgot to tell us something, or because you misled us, because you made some investigator work more hours than he should have when you could told the truth, they're going to break it off of you. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. When all you had to do was say, you know what, guys, this is what happened.
You know, since I am from the old school, like you said, if your only concern here is that you don't want to go to RYDC, you're afraid to go to RYDC, you're more afraid of going to RYDC than you are getting the truth out about this young girl, to me, you're a coward. If you're more concerned about going out there than you are bringing some kind of justice or some kind of rest to this girl, who is your so-called friend. You're more concerned of covering your butt. To me, you're nothing no more than a coward. Who's gonna wind up getting buried if you don't tell the truth? So if you've ever gonna be a man, now's the time to step up.
Schmidt is tired and stressed, and he is finding it difficult to keep up with the new lies he has to tell for each question.
I am telling the truth now.
What's that mean?
Yeah.
See, here we go. All right. I'm fixing to leave. I've had enough.
Yeah, I've been at this for too long.
I promise you, just as sure as I'm sitting here, you're going to get slammed on this because you're letting us leave this room knowing there's something in the back of your head going, oh God, I should have told them about that, or oh, I hope they don't find out about that. Who knows how we find out about stuff?
I ain't about nothing because I never did anything with her.
Dude,
Nothing
you
like
have been
that.
sitting in here. What'd you just say?
Nothing like that.
Like what? What's that? Explain it.
Like you're just saying, like
What?
trying to do laser, clean up, find stuff underneath their nails, or anything like
All
that.
I'm saying is that the way you said that she was shot, if that's not true, those lasers are going to prove it. And it's like a fingerprint. You ain't got a leg to stand on in court. You're screwed. That's where I think you're not telling me the truth, how she got shot. And you can either tell us now what really happened, or we can just wait till tomorrow. And again, you can make all these people do all this extra work when, like he said, man up, tell the truth, let the DA's office know that, you know what, it's horrible, it's bad, it happened, but I'm trying to look at my future. Who do you think who do you think is the worst person that goes to court? Somebody that lies and lies, and then it's proven in court that they lie because they sit up and go, I don't know. I don't know why I told those investigators she touched a gun. I don't know why I told them about that rag. I don't know why I told them all that. Dude, the judge, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. He's going to slam you for that. Oh, you don't know? Well, let me give you some time to think about it. Sure you know. You know why you've been lying all night. It's to cover something up, and we haven't uncovered that. If it was the truth, you would have never told all these lies. That makes sense. Why did you tell the investigators that she touched the gun? Why did you put that gun in her hands?
In her hands.
Why did you make the investigators think that her fingerprints were going to be on the gun that shot her in the head and killed her?
So make it look like. So make it look like she was involved in it, but she was involved in it, but she didn't touch it.
Then why tell the investigators she touched it?
I have no clue why I said that. Even though I shouldn't have said it, but I don't know why I said it.
Well, after I come in and said there wasn't any fingerprints on the gun, why did you make up the story about the rag?
About the kitchen rag?
Yeah. The rag that didn't exist before I proved that her prints wasn't on the gun. Yeah, the rag you didn't tell them about till I come in and said her prints ain't on the gun. That rag. Why'd you make that lie up?
No, I first, before anything, that's what I first said them. Told them that before I was messing around with it, well, not before, I was still messing with it, and I was playing around with it, still trying to get that bullet out of it, see if it was loaded or not. So it didn't budge. So I went into the kitchen and grabbed a kitchen towel, and I was doing it
Where'd you lay the gun down at?
on on that little table.
What was she doing?
She was still on Facebook,
Okay, why did you go get a dish rag?
so I can see if I can like not grip. I want to say grip.
But you didn't tell him that the first time.
There is no good explanation for Schmidt's lies, and he knows that everything points to his guilt. He is doing everything he can to avoid admitting it outright.
You didn't tell him that the first time. But you know what? I got the rag. I got the rag. Right? You believe me?
I don't know. I can't say no or yes.
Does the rag exist?
Yes.
I have a rag. It was on the stove. You said you went to get the rag. When you were fooling around with the gun, you decided to get the rag because of why?
Then try to see if it will help it loosen up. If it anything
Give it more
stuck
grip? Okay.
Try to see if it got stuck underneath it.
Was the rag on the gun when it went off?
No, I took it off because it wasn't helping, and I took it off and I went and put it in the dirty the laundry basket, and I was still messing with it. Still messing with it.
I thought you left it on top of the stove.
What?
The rag. You left
When
it.
I got done with it, I went and took it and put it in the dirty camper.
How to get from the dirty clothes hamper back to the stove?
Wait.
You told the other investigators that at some point you put the rag back on the kitchen stove. That's where we found the rag, on the kitchen stove. Are you now saying you put...
I said I found the rag on the kitchen stove. Yes, I said that.
Okay.
I never did say anything about putting it back on there.
Okay, so once you figured out it wouldn't help you do what you needed to do with the
I
gun...
just took it and put it in the dirty clothes basket. That's all I did.
Where
Okay, then you walk back in to where she was at the computer.
Yeah, and I picked up the gun again. I was still fooling around with it. So I decided if it may need to be a little bit manhandled, I went to go grab it and go pull it back as hard as I could. And I accidentally pulled my hand on the trigger without knowing, and it went off.
Where's the clothes basket at that you put the rag?
In the bathroom.
And here's the thing you've got to understand, and we're about done. You can't put a rag on a gun and not be some kind of trace evidence.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to take every rag that's in that clothes hamper. Which clothes hamper and where's it at?
In the bathroom and the back bathroom.
In the back bathroom. We're going to take those rags, and I can't do it tonight. If we don't find some type of gun oil, your skin, because you can't touch anything, but you watch CSI, you know how all that works. Well, half of that stuff, most of it is true. If there's not a rag in that basket that's got some kind of residue from that gun where you were juking and jiving on it, that's another lie. So you need to tell me right now if you want to take and waste my time looking for a rag that don't exist. Because I'm telling you, and you know, if you put your hands on that rag, and especially wrapped it around a firearm, there's going to be some kind of residue. You said you put it in a clothes hamper. There's people there at the house now. There'll be people there all night and tomorrow. I'm going to call them and tell them to go to the clothes hamper. Get every piece of rag out of there, everything. You might have misinterpreted a t-shirt for a rag. We're going to check every piece of cloth in that basket. We ain't going to find nothing, are we?
All I know is white. Whatever I grabbed it and I just jerked it back.
So there's a rag in that dirty clothes hamper that
Yes,
you
sir.
used to do that gun with.
Yes, sir. I ain't lying about that.
It is white.
Yeah.
Might not be a dish towel. Might not be a washcloth.
It's just white. That's all I
But
got.
it was on top of the kitchen stove. That's where you got it.
Yes, sir.
So it might be a white t-shirt or something. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I don't. It may not. All
You
I
don't
did
know.
is grab it and I just put it on there. I was just jerking it back.
So you don't really know what it was.
All I did is grab it and I thought it may be a towel or a rag. And all I did is grab it and I was jerking it back. I ain't trying to say if it was or wasn't. But all I
What
know is on the
was it
stove.
what?
Towel or dish rag.
You don't know what it was.
It's white.
And that's all. And I just grabbed it. And I was just jerking it backwards.
Why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you call 911 after she was shot in the head?
Because there was no phone.
Sure, there are phones in the house. There's 2 cordless and a cell phone in the house.
There was no cell phone.
Dude, there's
There's a
2
cordless phone.
cordless phones in the house.
There's no phone connections. They cut it off.
You still dial 911.
I didn't know that. But when I heard that they cut off phone, it's off for good.
She don't have a cell phone?
No, sir.
She don't have one.
No, sir. Only Amanda. But Amanda's on top of the road already.
Schmidt would have already had an explanation ready for why he couldn't call for help, as he knew that question would have come up even if his original story had been believed.
Waiting for Chase to get off the bus.
Did you see her grabbing the curtains?
Huh?
Don't hum me. You heard me. Did you see her grabbing the curtains after you shot her?
And I was just waiting and seeing if she was all right. And I was just shaking her, seeing if she was all right. And she and just quit moving.
Why did you drag her out of the house? Why didn't you run out of the room as fast as you can down the road? Amanda! Amanda! Oh my God, Amanda! Why didn't you do that?
Because I didn't want to get in trouble with them and their relationship with me and my family. I didn't want to ruin that.
You're so full of crap.
No, it's not full of crap.
Yes, you are.
So, what you've done is not reversible. You've shot her. That's not reversible. You're not God, and you can't make it and take it back. How did you think dragging her into the woods was going to somehow cover up what you did? Oh, that's right. You made up the lie about the intruder. Why'd you do all that?
So it don't look like all the fingers point at me. And now that it just counted back and it did, it made me feel awful.
You shot her.
I
You
didn't
should
mean
feel
to.
awful. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for word. I'm gonna tell you what, Phil.
So you're sitting here telling me that I shot her on purpose?
No.
Because I didn't mean to. It was
No.
an accident.
No.
You said it didn't. It wasn't.
Are you gonna let me finish, please? I did not say you shot her on purpose. I said you have not told us the entire truth about what happened. Whatever that truth may be, I don't know. But you've not told us the entire truth about this whole story.
How far past the burn pile did you throw the gun?
You know where there's this. Where the
There's
truck
this. What is this?
Where the truck is sitting.
When I went out there, the truck is parked right here.
Yes.
Lana was down there. Truck's parked right here. You got a path that goes up
Yes,
that way
go
and a path that goes down that way.
Path that's beside the truck.
Going down the hill or going straight out in front of it?
Go straight out.
Alright, so how
No.
far out? Don't sit here and jerk me around,
No.
dude.
You
It's
wanna
too
draw a
late at
picture?
night.
You wanna draw a picture?
If I can, if you don't mind.
You done had the chalkboard in here. That
They
ain't
took it
help.
out.
Well, it didn't help when it was in here.
Man, it's hotter than my love life in here.
If that was the case, I ought to have icicles in here. No, you ain't got to draw it to scale. Just tell me where it's at.
Well, you see where the truck is? There's another trail
Good, Pam.
right behind the house. Where there's a line on this side, but the other path is right here on the other side of the truck. On the right hand of the truck.
What is that?
Along.
Okay. So this is the house. You facing the house like this. Alright, you come up, and that's where the girl parked back here with the truck. Right?
Yes, sir.
You got a path that goes up this way and a path that goes down the hill that way. Where's it at?
You talking about where there's like a little tree?
Look here, dude. Don't jerk me around. There's 1,000 trees out there. The truck is parked here.
Yes, sir.
There's a path that goes up that way towards your house, right?
Yes, sir.
There's a path that goes down the hill that way.
Yes, sir.
Where is the
That
gun?
way, and it's ditched off on that side.
How far down?
All I did is throw it in there.
How far down were you when you threw it?
I just went barely in the middle of the
So
trail.
you went right here?
Yes, sir.
Or were you down here? Or were you down here?
No, I was right up here.
So how far down?
Just right there where you're pointing.
Alright, and so did you rear back and throw it like Tom Glavine, or
No, all I
did
did
you
was
just
grab it and just toss it in.
Slung it.
Yeah, like that.
Schmidt is comfortable telling them where he hid the gun, since he doesn't believe it contradicts his earlier statements.
I'm about to have enough of him.
Yeah,
You've been lying for about 4 hours.
I'm not lying.
Yes,
though.
you are.
you've lied all night.
Yes,
dude.
you are.
You've lied all
I know
night.
about-
And the only thing you're concerned about is the possibility of you having to go to RYDC.
Tonight. You ain't even thinking about down the
You
road.
got a young dead girl out there that was supposedly your friend, and the only thing that you're concerned about is going to RYDC. What kind of coward are you? Why don't you stand up and say, you know, this is what the hell happened? You know, you've been jerking people around for 4 hours, and we're still catching you in lies.
I'm not lying though.
Yes, you are.
Not right now. No, I'm not.
Oh, not right now.
no,
3.5
No, this last door I just said.
3.5 hours later, you're supposedly miraculously done found the truth. You gonna expect me to believe that crap?
Why did you lie to us for 3.5 hours anyway? Why?
Oh, so it wouldn't make him look like he done all this. Oh, I didn't want their family to be mad at me, so I drug her out there and threw her in the woods.
You're going to regret the day. You got tunnel vision. You're thinking about only 2 and 3 hours ahead of time. You are going to regret the day that you let me and this man walk out of this room
No,
without telling us the truth.
I'm
Whatever the
telling
truth-
y'all the truth.
No, you're not. You're not telling us everything. No, you're not. And I'll guarantee you my paycheck, when that body is done an autopsy on it, the way you said that she was shot will be proven wrong by the very people that you like to watch on TV, and that's the people that are going to crucify you in court. When you had the chance to sit here and tell me and this man what happened. No, I'm going to keep lying because I don't believe eventually when 11 o'clock comes tomorrow that they will have her and they will do an autopsy and they will have all that stuff. You know good and well that shooting didn't happen the way you said it did because you've lied too much about it. If it happened the way you said it did, you would have cut right to it 3 hours ago. You've dicked us around and told us so many lies. I wouldn't believe you if you sat here and told me you're wearing a silver chain. If it's the truth, then why lie about it so much? Why lie? This is what happened. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's it. There ain't no more I can tell you. 3 hours later, we're still getting lies from you. That's why I don't think you've told us everything. You've not. Something happened in that house that only you, the good Lord in heaven, and that dead girl knows. And mister, if you can walk out of this room with that on your conscience, trust me, you're worried about what's going to happen to you tonight. Trust me, in about 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to wish to God you had finally broke down, finally manned up, and said, you know what? Damn, here it is. By God, this is what happened. Whatever it was that happened, I don't know. You've told us lies for a reason.
You read you like a book.
Told us lies for a reason. To throw us off of the truth. You tell a lie to cover up the truth.
10-7.
You're going to regret the day that you let us leave this room with these issues not cleared up. Trust me.
It's going to come back to bite you. Bite you hard.
Thank you for joining us as we revisited this heart-wrenching case. If you found this story compelling, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth true crime investigations. And as always, stay safe.